Okay, so about a month ago, one of my teachers was talking about how bad Doritos are for you, and then he went on a tangent and he was like, grumble, grumble, GMOs cause cancer, grumble, grumble. Now this struck me as complete bullshit, and it turns out that's because it's complete bullshit. So being the scientifically driven and fact-oriented person I am, I'm making a video about why he's wrong. So can we get this out of the way? GMOs do not cause cancer, at least not the ones that we eat. It's true that some foods can be modified to cause cancer, but you would think that the FDA, the organization responsible for making sure that we don't eat cancer cantaloupes and AIDS apples, would make sure that we don't eat cancer cantaloupes and AIDS apples. And you'd be right. The FDA has very strict guidelines that make sure we don't eat any, and almost all shelved foods are safe for consumption. And don't call me an expert, but I'm pretty sure those guidelines include not causing cancer. Pretender! Some person in the comments might be saying if I had legitimate people that watch my videos other than my friends, you can buy foods on the internet outside of the US. That's a great point, anonymous and non-existent person in the comments, but GMOs in general don't cause cancer. Jesus, how many times do I need to say this? I said it in the beginning, I said it a little later in the beginning, and I guess I have to say it again right now. When will people learn that GMOs don't cause cancer? And here's why. We have lots of scientists working on the subject, and all of them are smart people. They have created reliable, effective, and safe ways of modifying foods. Some of those are plasmids and viruses, the good ones, not the ones that give you diseases and stuff. But with modern science and technology, they've created CRISPR-Cas9. This is essentially a large pair of scissors that allows scientists to delete genes and replace them with precision. Basically, they delete the gene that they want to get rid of, and the cell goes completely apeshit because it's realized that a gene is missing, and it tries to find something to replace it with. So the smart scientists, who know exactly what they are doing, put in a new gene to replace it. And since the cell only reads the beginning and the end of the gene, the new gene has parts of the old gene on either end of it, tricking the cell into thinking that it's the right gene. This allows scientists to modify plants and animals however they want. But I can already hear that annoying voice in the back of my head saying, "Hey Ander, CRISPR is fairly new technology." And I say to you, I applaud your research. But also get out of my head! But he is right. CRISPR has been around for less than a year, and the first commercially available GMO is the Flavor Saver tomato, released in 1994. And no, I didn't misspell it. That's the name that the company gave it. Look it up. But past scientists just used the mechanisms built into viruses and bacterial plasmids to do the exact same thing, just with less precision. And even when they did mess up, what would happen would either be A, the plant would die due to missing genetic material, or B, the plant would just not display the desired gene. And one of the things that people don't understand is that while DNA is complicated, we know what gene codes for what. And the genes that coded for a trait that would be useful to us are nowhere near the genes that could cause cancer. Hell, they could be on an entire different chromosome depending on the organism. And it's difficult for scientists to change the entirely wrong part of DNA. And even if they did, they would probably notice that their glow-in-the-dark cat isn't glowing in the dark, and instead it is causing cancer. But some real scientists in the comments might be saying that they want hard facts. So I say to them, remember when you ate corn or meat sometime in the past few years? Yes? Okay, so do you have cancer? No? Good. Corn is one of the most heavily modified organisms out there. In fact, 88% of corn is GM corn. And I guarantee you that any meat you ate was fed GM corn before it was killed. There. Proof. But I hear that voice in the back of my head saying again, what about the Sarah Leonard study? Now I really hate that voice for saying that name. Gilles Eric Seralini is a molecular biology professor and is one of the few people to conduct an actual study trying to prove a link between GMOs and cancer. You've probably seen the pictures somewhere on the internet. Rats with large, hideous cancer tumors. Yeah, that study wasn't debunked and dismissed by the scientific community once, but twice. His study is one of the most flawed I've ever seen. The study used cherry-picked data, small sample groups, and a strain of rat that already had a high chance of developing cancer. This prompted Seralini to take down the study from the journal where it was published. He soon re-released it, and it was pretty much the same thing with a few tweaks. Other professionals also admitted that it was a bad study, saying that, quote, the article still doesn't appear to have proper statistical refereeing, and the methods in reporting are obscure. The claimed effect shows no dose response, and so the conclusions rest entirely on a comparison with 10 control rats of each sex. This is inadequate, end quote. One of the things that pushed me past the boiling point was the fact that they only used 10 rats in each test group. that is nowhere near enough, and it is a minuscule amount to be testing. Also, the strain of rat that they use, the Sprague Dolly rat, had an 80% chance of developing cancer in the course of its life, meaning that that rat right there may not have been fed GMOs whatsoever. So yeah, GMOs don't cause cancer. Can we all agree on that now? But I don't want to leave all of you with misplaced anger, so I will tell you the real problem with GMOs. The company infamous for using GM crops is Monsanto, and they have a pesticide called Roundup. This is a very dangerous chemical, and is pretty much cancer in a bottle, so it kills all the crops along with all the bugs. However, Monsanto has made GMOs that can withstand Roundup, and herein lies the problem. Not GMOs themselves, but ultimately how some choose to use them. Many companies use them for their own benefit, but not at the sake of the people, while others like Monsanto just want the money. However, GMOs shouldn't be shunned, and they have the potential for good, and are our best bet for feeding an ever-growing world population. Their potential has already been shown in examples like Africa, where children were suffering from vitamin A deficiency and went blind. So the strain of rice was developed that had more vitamin A and saved thousands of children's eyesight. So don't shun GMOs. They are our future. Shun people who want to use them for evil.
Thank you all for watching this video. You can hit the big red subscribe button right down there. You can leave a comment below, and you can like and you can dislike. But please like and do not dislike. But please like. You can also watch the last video I made right here, and you can watch a video of mine that YouTube has chosen for you, right here. But remember, Hail Satan!